Like, enough of this. This is horrific. This is awful. And the assassination of Charlie Kirk risks an uncorking of political chaos and violence that we cannot risk in America. We cannot risk it. It's a natural consequence to see this and to be worried about this. And I think, but what is most important is the fact that we've gotten to this place, and we need to figure out what we can do to ensure that every American can feel safe going to a public event.
Incomprehensible. The loss is so enormous for his family, of course, but for our country. And yeah, for me personally too. I can't quite get my arms around the fact that he's gone, that this larger than life figure who was a spectacular orator, who had his entire life and political future ahead of him, has been taken from us so violently in front of all of our eyes in the most disgusting and vile and jarring way possible, and that we're now living in a world without him. It's just, it hasn't sunk in yet.
Yeah, I've got to say, this must be how certain people felt in the 1960s about the towering political figures who were murdered then. And make no mistake, for Republicans, for conservatives, for young people around the world who were interested in what he had to say, Charlie Kirk is as big as any of those figures that were taken in the 1960s.
Yes. If the left does not comprehend how important he was to us on the right, they're going to find out. I mean, there's a reason that President Donald Trump was the first to comment that he lowered the flags to half staff, ordered them lowered in the country, that Barack Obama, Joe Biden have both issued statements, and good statements. No mealy-mouthed, anything in there, just good, solid statements. There's a reason for this 31-year-old kid living out of Arizona who in 2016 was Don Jr.'s bag boy, literally was carrying Don Jr.'s bags, and 10 years later, not even, had changed the world. It is not an overstatement to say that Charlie Kirk delivered the youth vote to Donald Trump almost single-handedly, something that no Republican had ever gotten. No one even bothered. Young people they don't vote Republican. They're idealists who vote Democrat until they grow up and realize what folly that is. And then they come over. But Charlie said, no, they can be reached. We're seeding an entire group of people that we don't need to seed, and put his money where his mouth was, devoted his entire organization to going where? to places Charlie never attended. He did not go to college. He never went to college. Life was his college. And yet he spent half of it going from college to college to college to try to convince the young people there to see the world the way he did, to try to understand that there was an education to be had on certain issues that they wouldn't get from CNN, that they couldn't get from Morning Joe, and to set the truth, the facts straight, and to give the truth on a man named Donald Trump, who had been so bastardized by every pocket of the media that no young person, given the way they consume news, could ever really know or understand him or why he might be worth voting for. He delivered that election to Donald Trump, at least a large faction of it. Even Trump knows that. Trump doesn't comment on random acts of violence that often, Paul. You know, the Charlie was important to him and to the movement, and we've just lost a giant today. I'm so sad for us. I'm so sad that I'm not going to be able to watch what he did next.